here. We'll get a couple of charts up, start looking at them. Welcome everybody. This is the Tuesday evening Viper trading webinar. If you're here to learn about trading the futures market, you are in the correct place. And we've got to get our standard disclaimer out of the way first, and then we can get straight away to some charts and look at some trade setups. All communications from Viper Trading Systems are for educational purposes only. Futures and Forex trading does involve risk, and there is a risk of loss. Nothing contained in this webinar. Other webinars, including the live trading rooms, are to be construed as investment or trading advice. And of course, everybody does know in here that you do trade at your own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? I don't see any. Okay, good. Well, let's get over to some charts. We're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. Sometimes in these, normally we do it on Thursdays because of the holiday here in the States, July 4th, Independence Day. We moved this up to Tuesday, so we're doing it tonight. And in the Thursday night sessions, we normally get pull up markets that are moving, and we all kind of try to look for trade setups and call out entries and targets and exits and stops and things of that nature. So what I think would be interesting tonight is we can mix it up with a little bit of live charts. Some people have typed in gold, crude oil, so we'll get those charts up. And then I have some other charts here which show some trade setups from today on the dollar index and some equities. And we'll kind of mix it up and go through that so we get through all of it here in the next hour. So without further ado, let's get a 6-8 chart up on screen 1 here. Stand by, please. Shifting to screen 1. You should see a 6-8 chart right about now. 6-8 chart, 6-8 chart. Here we are right now. And actually, I don't know, I might have a little bit of corrupt data. Anybody else have a 6-8 chart up? This is showing that the 2nd of July started right here. So, you know, I don't know how much trading has happened on 6A, but it's kind of confining it to this very tight, choppy range here. It shows it at 9095. 9095. Why this thing always chooses to do this? Anybody can confirm that 9095 in fact is the number on 6A? 9095? All right. That must be the number. All righty. Well, you can see that we've been, first thing I want to do is I want to look at, stand by for 1 second, please. Okay, the first thing I want to look at here, you have a lot more data, so the number is correct, but the bar is missing some bars. Yeah, that does look strange. There must be something a little bit corrupted on 6A that is causing it to miss some data. There's a couple of charts that look like that too. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna have to clean up my database here when we log out of here and get that straightened away. But you know, I just brought up the default Guidance 2 Viper chart, and it has a couple of Band-Aids on it. I do want to look at a couple of Band-Aid trades here and talk about the Band-Aid setup so that we're all kind of on the same page. You have a couple of Band-Aids that painted here fairly close to each other, and we're going to do some Band-Aids on different instruments and talk about how to trade them. I personally, and this is a personal preference, is I like to give the Band-Aid a little bit of wiggle room on either end of the trade. And what I mean by that is, let's look at this Band-Aid right here. I mean a couple of 3 ticks of cushion on either side for entry. And what I mean by that is this, is sometimes if you want to avoid getting head faked in the Band-Aid a little bit, can you see that at the bottom of this particular Band-Aid, painted right in here? Notice how like the wicks of these candles dipped just a couple of ticks below it, and then it went up. So what I like to do is I like to give a little cushion of a couple of 3 ticks before taking an entry. So I would not have taken a short here, although the trend direction is short based on the guidance dots, right? On the other hand, you can see that it broke to the upside, taking out the top of the Band-Aid right in here. So you did get another pop quickly up on out of the top of the Band-Aid. Didn't really give you much. The real trade set up over here. Here you can see we have another Band-Aid that painted right in here. I'm not certain exactly when this time was. When I pulled up this template, it just put these Band-Aids in, so I thought I'd just talk about more the concept of the Band-Aid itself. But I want to here's what I'm going to show you on these Band-Aids is here you can see clearly we stayed below this level. The trend has been down, so the guidance is short, so we're kind of thinking short anyway, right? And you can see the bottom of the Band-Aid sitting kind of right about in here, back down at the support level. And what's interesting, and you're going to see this happen quite a bit on these Band-Aid trades. Stand by 1 second, please. And this happens in different forms, okay? Sometimes this happens quickly, sometimes it chops around, sometimes you get a retracement back up into the Band-Aid, but many times what you find is this. And if you develop the skill sets around this, yeah, the Band-Aid is right here, this little box. See it? See that little box right there, Bob? Right here, where my cursor is. See the little box painted right in here? Okay, and you see the guidance was short. See the guidance was in the trend. You know, obviously you can see here the trend has been down. It's been selling off, retracing, selling off. Trend is down. So we're actually looking for shorts anyway. And sure, this was a yellow bar probe that eventually broke down. But what I want to show you is this. Here you get the pop down through the bottom of the Band-Aid, down into here. But then notice what happens. It's not so much the break of the bottom of the Band-Aid, although you could have shorted this, you know, and put a stop in up here. But it comes back and it checks the bottom area of the Band-Aid a couple of times. See what it's doing in here? And this took a little while. I mean, it was in this range from 9 till 9:20. A little bit. It spent 15-20 minutes in this range. I mean, there's plenty of time to watch and decide what to do. It wasn't like you had 30 seconds to pull the trigger and take a trade here. It spent a little bit of time chopping around here. And what I'm saying specifically is that with the bottom of the Band-Aid holding as resistance, that if you missed the short at the bottom of the Band-Aid, you could have very well had plenty of time to get in when it came back up and checked it. Did everybody see that? So I just, sometimes I get a sense that it feels like some people just feel this incredible sense of urgency when a range like a zone box or a Band-Aid or any of those kinds of things are painting to get in, or else you're going to miss the move. There's many times where the market will come back, and I'll show this on a couple of charts, and give you another chance to get in. It's perfectly acceptable to short the bottom of the box. And you can see here you felt very little heat at all, just a little bit of heat. You know, it didn't even come up here and check your stop dots at all. And then on down it went. You know, and depending on your fill, you know, you probably got out, depending on your trailing stop location, I'd guess somewhere over in here. So let's do some quick math here. You know, you got filled short, say, a couple of 3 ticks under the bottom of the Band-Aid here, short at 95, 96, kind of right in here. And, you know, maybe you get stopped out at, I don't know, let's use a round number, 76. So that's a nice little pop. There's a quick little pop down here. I mean, depending on what, you know, you left some on the table. I mean, it got all the way down here to 63. You got, the whole drop was around 30, 32, 34 ticks. But if you trailed a stop, you might have got taken out up here and just maybe pulled 20, 22 ticks out of it, which at $10 a tick is somewhere around $200. Now, you've heard me talk about this before. What we want to do as you develop your skill sets in taking these trades and seeing these trades and getting in and out and with your targets and stops. And by the way, I think you can see here, and most of you know this, I'm not going to get into a lot of platinum detail, but you can see here that this is a target band down in here. that it came right into the middle of, and we know that in particular if you're trading multiple contracts. So explicitly what we're saying here, let me just put the trade right on the chart with chart traders so we're all clear what this is. Stand by, please. Properties, chart trader, yes. True, apply. There we go. All right. So we're saying, coming back over here, that you were shorting a breakdown of the support from the Band-Aid here. You got filled at 96.95, somewhere under here. Your initial stop would have been up here. See the stop dots? Buy to cover. Right up in there. Nope, I got filled. We're in sim, right? Yeah. There you go. We're short. We'll take that off in a minute. All right. So, and then as the market descended in our favor, as it did right in here, we all know, and we spend quite a bit of time in all the webinars going through the fact that once it moves, at least a couple of 5, 6, 8, 10 ticks in your favor, you immediately get your stop down, a couple of ticks at least in front of your entry. This assures that now you have a free trade. Nope, it just closed it. What the heck is going on here? All right, let's try this one more time. I filled it again. Silly thing. Okay. Let's just get through this one because I got a bunch of other ones to show. Okay, so the initial stop was up here. Everybody sees that, right? And you trail your stop, trail your stop, trail your stop, trail your stop. It comes right down in here into the target box. Into the target box, you get a couple of chances to get out. Down in here, banking some coin. If you have multiples, if you have 2 contracts, the way that works, or more, 2 contracts or more, what's happening is you're taking profits down in here in these bands. And then if you want a runner, you would simply trail the stop on the runner. Now you see that you could use the trailing stop dots, which are these dots right here that follow the price on down. You could use the stealth line. This thing just wants to take me out. In the stealth line, you would have been stopped out more than likely somewhere either in here or quite possibly over in either the wick of this candle or somewhere over in here, taking you out. So maybe on the first leg, if you rode the first leg down into the band, you got maybe 25, 30 ticks, and then quite possibly another 20, 22 ticks on that second leg there, 2 contracts. That's the ideal. You want to be able to take some profit and let a runner run because as the market is dropping here and it comes into the band and it's checking the stop dots, when it's right here or even over here, we don't know at this point whether it's going to break the support and continue ripping on down through the bottom here, right? We don't know. That's the whole notion of having the runner, is that you leave sufficient wiggle room in your stops to allow for the fact that you might get that puppy breaking on down, and then down she goes and follows trailing stop dots, etc. Questions on this trade setup coming off this band here? Short, leg 1, 2, 250. 200 on the second one. 2 contracts would have easily made you like 450. That could have been one of your trades. That could have been one of your trades for that day. Right? Okay, let's go over and see what 6A is doing right now. We still chopping around? Yeah, right back in this range that it's in right now. It likes this spot, 9095. So I don't see anything setting up here. We normally would look to put some possible live sim trades up here. I mean, I suppose we could ask the question of the team, get a census poll of what to do. Let me lob out some options for you. We could short, looking at this chart in its current condition, and I know that it's after hours and it's not moving, but let's just hypothetically look at what we might do if this was an active moving market right now. If it came back up into here, well, more specifically, I'd say right up in here. How many of you would look to be taking a short? Say putting a sell order somewhere up in this. By the way, I wouldn't suggest doing it with live money. Let's see what the spread is. Spread's not too bad. It's just 1 or 2 ticks on the spread. And you're getting a decent liquidity here. So what we're saying is that when you trade markets after hours, you need to see some liquidity. There has to be sufficient bid-ask, so you're going to be able to get in and out possibly with a couple of contracts. And you want to see a fairly tight spread. One tick would be ideal. You get wider spreads, you get 3, 4, 5 plus ticks. You're looking at $30 plus commission to just get in. It's got to move that much in your favor for you just to break even. So that's telling you a market you're going to want to stay away from. Anybody want to short this? Bob says no. Here, let me give you another option. How about this support area, shorting a breakdown of the support area right in here? Putting a sell order, say a tick, under 9084. Anybody want to do that? Donald says yes. Okay, a couple people like the shorting of support, the break of support, shorting a break of support. Anybody in on the selling on the retrace? Let me put a different option in. How many of you would buy a breakout of this area right here? How many want to put a buy order in here if it breaks the top of this resistance area? Any buyers? So we have a sell of resistance up near the resistance, near the guidance dots. We'll call that trade A, right here, this trade right here. Trade B is to buy a breakout of this and possibly cover it up here. And C would be sell support on a breakdown through 9084. A, B, or C? Anybody? Take a poll, and whatever wins, we'll leave on the chart. Bob says short around 909116. All right, so Bob is saying short it up here. Okay, Donald says C. Donald likes the breakdown trade. 3. A couple C, more C's. I see more C's coming in. Ken says I want to sell with Bob. Well, okay. So we got the two things we have consistent here is traders in here. Everyone at the team tonight is willing to sell up in this area here and take a short. Nobody, absolutely nobody said to buy, which is good. I'm glad to see that. This is a downtrend, so we're not buying. We're looking to short, yes? And then, and many of you said C, short it when it breaks. All right, cool. It's in Sim. We'll tuck it on the side, and we'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see what she does. By the way, is there anything else moving? Anybody else have a chart up that's moving that they like? Any other charts up that you like that are moving? While you're looking at that, I'll drag the dollar down here. Show a couple dollar trades real quick. Sit on hands. We're in no man's land. All right, Dave. Could do that. Yeah, it's hardly moving at all. We're just putting that up there. Whoa, where's all my data? What the heck is going on here? I need to get some more data on this puppy. Yeah, my data is all messed up on these currencies. I don't know what the heck is going on. I'll have to scrub the database. Let's see if I can get some more dollar data on here. $6J and CL are moving, Roger? Gold is tanking. All right. A gold contract is still in August gold, right? Isn't that the front month? Was anybody in here last week when we took the gold short? What the heck is that? Anybody remember that? You remember that, Derek? That thing dropped 180 ticks. One contract was $1,800 in like 15 minutes. It's crazy. All right, let me verify some data here. I don't know what is wrong with my data here, but let me ask this. Is gold at 1242.80? 1242.80. All right. Well, technically speaking, in terms of guidance, and I don't know if it's due to the gap here, but based on this chart, the current trend is actually up. Right? Here's our guidance dots right here. In fact, you could make the case that we just right over here more or less had kind of a regular bar probe that came into support here. All right, team. So looking at the gold chart in its current state. Oh, it's down 15 on the day. Yeah. They've been hammering gold. This might quite simply just be a retrace up. Let me give you a couple options. If she comes back into this band right here and checks this area one more time, how many of you would look to buy support right in here on gold? Hold on, I'll give you. Let's look at some different options here. How many of you would be buying gold right in here? Say you fade the support by 2 or 3 ticks. We'll call that trade A. Trade B would be, you see this band right here that's providing resistance at 1243.40? Put a buy order just a tick or two above that band right there for a breakout to the upside. So trade option A would be a retracement into support, buying support, putting the initial stop when we're filled under these dots. So the risk is fairly low on the retracement, and then look for it to continue back up. Now, by the way, if you bought 2 contracts, we would take profits up here at this band and then have a runner. And if you bought here, you should see gold. Can everybody see gold here? How about now? Everybody see a gold chart? Gold, GC. Oh, you know what? I might have had dollar up for a while there. My apologies. My apologies. Let me step back for a second. This is the correct chart. We're looking at gold August contract. Guidance dots are long. Just to reorient everybody here. Guidance is currently long for as far as the guidance is concerned. We've run up. We've pulled back. We had a probe support here at 1241-ish. In that band right in there more or less. And we're kind of consolidating in this tight little 10, 12 tick range here. So the question was, option A is this trade right here. Buy a check of support. This is trade number letter A. Trade B would be to buy a breakout of the resistance area up here near this band at 1243.60. And we're putting 2 on. The 2 contract trade is the initial stop if and when we were filled down here would be under these dots, 2 contracts. And our our immediate target would be this area right here. And the second breakout trade, the initial target on 1 contract would be the band up in here, which is the current resistance up near 45.50. So how many of us like taking votes for the 2 potential trade setups on the table here for gold? Trade A at support. Trade B is the breakout. What's the consensus of the team here tonight? Trade A by support. Trade B by the breakout. We have several A's coming in. Gustavo, Christopher, both want A. Anybody else? A. Trade A or B. Any B's? So far we have all A's. A is Hardy, Rogers A. Any B's? Any taker on B's? Wow, almost all A's. I don't see any B's at all. What's the matter? Nobody likes breakouts anymore? Where have all the breakout traders gone? Oh, here we have one. Here's a counter, sort of a counter deal. Ken says he would sell the current price. Well, let's put C up here. Ken says C. Let's call it C. C trade would be Ken's call of selling selling. I guess you're saying sell market where it is right now. That's what Ken wants to do. That would be C. All right, Bob says B for the heck of it. Hardy's in breakout rehab. Okay, all right. All right, well, it looks like gold is trying to rebound by virtue of the fact that we have the guidance dots long, and it's rebounded off that $15 sell-off today. Let's go ahead and just leave both of those on and see what gets filled, and we'll take it from there. Sorry to say we wanted to short it. Ken, the sea was voted off the island. My apologies. I'll have to try that another day. All right, let's tuck that in the corner too. Voted off the island. All right, here's our 6A setup. We haven't moved a whole lot of anywhere. We're going to really tuck that in the corner. That's not moving anywhere at all, hardly. 6A has gone into sleeper mode. The Aussies are taking a nap. This is the Aussie futures. Taking a little nippy nap. And our gold trade is going to wait for either the retracement or the breakout. By the way, just to let everybody know, most of the team voted A. All right, what else is moving? What else is moving? Anything else moving? 6J, is 6J moving? Crude oil moving right now? And is anything moving right now? Crude oil? All right, let's get a crude oil. We're still in August, right? What's the front month in crude oil? August. Yeah, my data is whacked. My data is total whack-a-mole right now. And look at this huge gap overnight. It's like I'm missing the whole day of oil data. But Doug says, yeah, we're still in August. Okay, that's the current front month. Chris says that he shorted 100.55 in crude. Well, I don't know. Is this data correct? We at 1040? Anybody watching a chart live on crude? Are we at 10040? That's what my data shows. Looks like we're trying to break a little retracement line to the upside. Anybody want to buy oil right here? Market buy? Let's give you a couple options to think about as far as crude oil, what to do here. It says show chart trader, true. There we go. One tick spread, a little bit light on the volume. Let's look at a couple of trade options right now. So clearly it's trying to find some support. You know, it's definitely trying to find some support down in here as it's retracing. You've got a kind of a little support area defined down in here by this band. So one trade you could consider would be a deeper retracement down into here. We're filled short on gold, by the way. We're just filled short on gold. We're going to convert this buy order on the breakout that nobody wanted to a protective buy stop. There's our buy stop on gold. The A trade got filled. Going back over here to crude. So one trade we could consider is a retracement down into here for a possible buy order. Another one would be, can you see this little shelf that's right here? See this little shelf that's forming kind of right here at the top of this box? Another option would be to wait until that box is broken to the upside and buy that. 10047. Call it 48. I'm long gold. Are we long gold? That was supposed to be a sell order, wasn't it? Oh, I put the wrong stupid order in it. No, we bought the retracement. No, wait, go back to this trade. What was the true option A was buying support. You're right. You're absolutely right, Christopher. That's right. Option A was buying support. Option B was buying the breakout. That's right. That's correct. We are long gold from here. So our protective sell stop is right here. Sell stop is right in here. There you go. 2 contracts. Right under the stop dots. Right under support. Right in there. There we go. Okay, good. That's properly set up. My apologies. No, the person who got short gold at 55. Well, I think somebody was talking about shorting 55 on oil, Hardy. Yeah, Chris said he shorted oil up at 10055. So he's short oil from up here. But from a technical perspective, right now, looking at this market, oil has bounced off of its lows and is in a uptrend. It is in an uptrend. All right, while you're kind of pondering what to do with oil, let's look at the gold trade. It bounced off of support. It filled this on the wick of this candle. 2 contracts. So we have a couple of options. If and when gold was to get back up towards this resistance area, how many of you would take 1 contract off at this resistance area right in here? Any takers on banking some money on gold if and when it was to hit this area right here? Anybody want to take 1 contract off right here? 4320. While you think about that, we have another resistance area up in here. So if we break through there, do we let a runner run, in other words, a trailing stop, or how many of you want to take profits up in here on number 2? So profit taking number 1, profit taking number 2. Profit taking number 1 would be here. First resistance level. Profit taking number 2 would be up here. You know what I can? You know, it almost sounds like one of those. Anybody here have an eye exam? Which one is closer, A or B? A or B? Which one is clearer, C or D? C or D? I don't know. I've had glasses my whole life. It just makes me think of like an eye exam or something. Which one's clear? Green or red? Of course, I'm colorblind too, so green and red always look the same to me. All right, tell you what, most of you seem to, all right, so the consensus seems to be take the profit on 1, but let the second run, most people are saying take the profit on 1 when it gets here to this first target and let the runner run. So not put a second target on, let the runner run. Okay, cool. Ken still likes the short on what? On crude oil? Back over here. On gold, okay. By the way, back over here one more time since we're live in this trade. Well, it's sim, but live data. Sim, but live data. Should we do anything with the stop? Anybody want to move the stop on gold from its current location? Anybody want to take it up here or possibly up here? Right up here at a minimum? Break even, at least, by a tick? What do you think? Okay, good. Right, because that was our rule of thumb. Our rule of thumb was that when a market comes back and fills you and it bounces up at least, say 5 to 10 ticks, 5, 6, 8, 10 ticks, which it has. It's bounced 8 ticks, 9 ticks. get our stop up close to break even. Now, when this puppy starts to get up near this target, right in here, we're going to take the stop up like this, right? Start to move the stop up a little bit. Pops that target. We're going to reduce the stop to 1 and take it just under here if it pops it. Ken says he wants to get the stop to break even because if it takes the phantom line out, it's probably going much lower. Right. Yeah. If it took this box out here, you could get a nice drop out of it, and you don't want that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to go on. It's a little aggressive on the target. I'm going to fade that by a couple more ticks. Let's pull it down right into the wicks of these candles right in here. Okay? See it? See the wicks of these candles? If we want to be filled, it should theoretically pop at least to there. And then we'll take this stop down to 1 and trail it. All right, our crude oil is just kind of sitting here. 6A is going nowhere. This is a mountain to try to get up into this. I know the team wanted to short 115, 16. I have to tell you that's a mountain to try to get to. Why don't we try another entry on the short? Let's suppose that we might see some resistance up in here if we pop up. So looking to sell 6A short on a pop up into this area right here. Right in there. So the two options we had here for Chris asking about other webinars this week. Yeah, just real quick while we're watching this, bring everybody up to speed. So the schedule for the rest of the week for Do the Holiday on Thursday is we will have a live room tomorrow morning, the pro room with all three of us, Rich and Gary and myself will be in there tomorrow as usual in the pro room, regular hours. 5:45 to 8:30. There will be a webinar tomorrow night. I believe it's Gary will host it. So yes, there will be a webinar tomorrow as usual, Wednesday night, 5 o'clock. We'll be closed all day on Thursday, so no live room. Do the holiday. It's shortened hours, and most people are off. The volatility is going to be almost nil. A lot of people are taking a 4-day weekend. There we go. We popped our first target. Everybody see that? Just pop target 1. We're taking out resistance. Target 1 is acquired. We are down to 1 contract. You've got to remember to take your trailing stop down to 2. Otherwise, when it filled, it would close that position. Plus, then you'd be short. Okay? Target 1 was taken out right here. Target 1 was acquired. Going to take our trailing stop up. Got a free trade now on the rest of it. Yeah, Hardy says $200 in gold for 15 minutes of trading. There's nothing better than trading the futures markets. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, just a quick story while we watch this. I've traded so many different things over the years. Started trading back in '95, so it's many years. Started with options. Most of you, I'm sure, have traded different things over the years. Stocks, of course. Forex, dabbled in Forex for quite some time. Started a company, actually traded Forex, and we had a huge trading floor in India, trained some people, sold that years ago. And then got into futures. God, I'm going to say it's 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. I can't remember exactly when, but I'll tell you, I've never looked back as far as active trading goes. Futures is definitely a way to be. It's just so nice when these markets move, and you get a nice trade setup, isn't it? Okay, so while we're watching gold here, gold move. 6A is trying to poke its head up a little bit towards that resistance area. We dragged our short down, and it has not been filled yet. And it looks like oil is trying to creep its way up here a little bit to this resistance area. By the way, A was buying another retracement on crude. That was the retracement entry at support down here. And B was the breakout. Okay, it's kind of hanging around this resistance area. What do we want to do with our gold stop? Anybody? Anybody in favor of going ahead and taking the profit up here in this resistance area on gold? I asked that once before. Now we're moving. Most of you voted for the runner. Anybody would have banked the gold if she gets up there, or let it run? Trail the stop and let her run. Okay. Everybody wants to let her run? We will let her run. All right, anything else moving? Anything else moving that we would want to take a look at? I can pull another chart up while we're watching this. Any other instruments that somebody would like to take a look at while we're in here tonight? Let me just pull a fresh chart up here. Any instruments? I'm going to get a new chart up. That's the Viper way. Let her run. Okay, you guys. Trail the stop. Okay, all right. Will do. You want to take a look at 6J, Japanese yen futures? Okay. Okay, let's see what is going on with Mr. Yen Man. Let me get that chart loaded up. Stand by. Oh, man, I'm having some serious data issues. Okay, we just got filled on crude oil. Crude oil just got filled. Let's get the, let's load up the 6J. Okay, while 6J is loading on the other screen, we got to do something about a stop here on crude oil. Since we are filled, we're not doing trade A because it didn't retrace down into there, so we have to place a stop. Anybody have an idea on where we want to put the crude oil stop? We are long, so we need to put a protective sell stop in. Any locations come to mind for crude oil? We only bought one contract here. Unlike gold, where we got filled 2, and we already acquired target 1 right there. We took the trailing stop down to 1, of course. Let's go ahead and tighten it up just a little bit more here. Stop. Stop on question right now on the table. Z table for the long trade on crude oil for the team is donde está placement of el stope or stop-o, depending on your preference. Let me give you a couple areas to consider for a sell stop. A couple of you have typed in 4058. Is that a target, Henry? Yeah, the crude oil filled here. It's up 50 bucks. Alfie? Right here. See it? It's right here. Crude oil. It's filled long right here. 10048. Everybody see that right here? 0048. We're trying to place a stop. Anybody? Stop for our long trade. We're up 5 ticks. 404045. All right, we'll split the difference. We'll go 4-3. We'll go a couple ticks. Just go a couple 3 ticks behind our entry. We'll keep that nice and tight. All right, for crude oil, we get a runner on our hands, or how many of you would like to bank money at this target? I see a lot of resistance at 60.61. How many of you would like to take some coin right up in here, or let a runner run? A, fixed target. B, runner run. Donald says, take the money right now. You guys want, you get 7 ticks, you want to bank the thing. You got to let the thing move around a little bit. Faded a little bit at the resistance. Okay, all right. So let's do some numbers here. Okay, so I see some pretty strong resistance. It's looking to me double top almost back here at. Let's get a line on this number here. 64. So if you wanted to fade 64 by a couple of 3 ticks, you'd put the target kind of right in here. Yeah, right in here somewhere. If you want to fade that swing by a couple of ticks. At this time of night, it's probably not a bad idea to bank the money. I mean, you could get, it's possible you could get a big breakout in a runner, but, you know, at this time of day, I don't know if you're going to get that or not. Put stop 47. You want to really crank that stop up there, don't you, Doug? Okay. All right, 40. We'll put 46. A couple of ticks behind our entry here. If it takes us out, it takes us out, right? All right, on gold, we're starting to move a little bit. Nobody wanted to take profits at resistance area 2. Everybody said run, 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 let gold go. So that's what we're doing. Now, we're coming up, and if we break this area here to the upside, which it looks like it wants to, ooh, we just got filled short 6A. Gets filled short 6A. Came right to our resistance area. Here, let's scooch this chart over just a pinch and give us a little more sort of a sneak peek into. By the way, before we put our stops in here, we are long. Let's do another little quick little thing here. Let's take this A up. A would now be on this oil chart to take the profits at the swing. And let's say B would be let the runner run on crude oil. A is take the profits on crude oil at the swing. B is let the runner run. Christopher says he would. Christopher says take the profits, fade that swing by a couple of 3-4 ticks, which we would do. All right, we're short on 6A here. We're going to take our other sell orders off. We need to put a stop in while you're thinking about the crude oil target there. We're short, so we need a buy stop. Wow, everybody, most people have said the consensus right now on crude oil is to bank the coin up here if and when it was to get there. We're almost there. A couple more ticks. We're going to take. Okay, let's move our stop. Crude oil is moving. Let's blow this up so we can see it. We got a target here. We can let the runner run or take the target. Everybody's voted for the target. Gold looks stronger. I would agree, Christopher. Gold is definitely stronger. We've got a nice little run on gold going on here. 2 more ticks. We're fading that swing by a couple of ticks. Come on, crude. All right, now while we're watching that, let's get our stop in on we're up 4 ticks on 6A. Let's look at some resistance areas. Come on, crude. Pop up there, little buddy. Come on, little buddy. Target acquired. 1 more tick, 2 more ticks. How many of you want to move the stop up on crude a little bit here? Like that? In case it pulls back, we're boxing it in. That's what you wind up doing. That's what we're doing here, by the way. When you get a move inside of a range like this towards the end of the trade, you're boxing it in. You have the target faded the swing by a couple of ticks, which is this one right here, the 6-1. And you're dragging the stop up. You're kind of forcing the market to move one way or another to fill your stop or your target. All right, 6A, we see some resistance I can see at this swing right here. Target acquired. Now you got to remember, you got to get that stop off the table right here, okay? You got to get that stop off the table or you're going to be filled short. Target acquired on crude. We're done with that trade. That was a quick little 15-tick popper, huh? Was that 12, 15 ticks, something like that? 150 bucks. Target 1 acquired. We're out of that trade. Nice little popperoo there, huh? All right, I'm going to get the stop up on gold a little bit more here because I see a shelf kind of forming right in here, and if that breaks, going to wind up getting out of this trade right in here. Now, what we want to do on 6A here, if and when she was to see that we're getting a breakout runner on oil, huh? Oh well, and you're gonna have that, right? Well, look at it go. Excuse me, look at it go. Smack a bony. Now, here, this is a good illustration of having 2 contracts, right? 2 contracts on a trade, if your risk tolerance can afford it, based on your account size, is that you would have hit target 1, and right now you'd be trailing a stop right here at about 6.2 on second contract, right? Look at oil go. Smack a bony. Where do we get filled? 4.8? 4.83, you'd be up 30 ticks. Look at that. Smack a bony go. Yee-hoo. Go, little oil, go. Man, when it hit 100, it just took off, didn't it? Yeah, Hardy. Most of you understand the principle of leverage when we talk about trading 2 contracts or more. Yeah, all the unrest over in the Mideast is really pushing oil higher. I mean, we're starting to see some relief at the pump here in California. They're getting the prices in a few places under $4 a gallon. But with it pushing back, okay, we're out of gold. Gold stopped out. Didn't break out, didn't run. Turned out our crude oil was the mover. Crude oil was the mover, and gold ran out of gas. All right, so we got about 7 ticks in our 6A short here. Let's manage that trade. That's the only one left on the table for tonight. Our initial stop was at this swing right here. We've got 7 ticks in the trade. It looks like it, because of what it did is it came up here and it hit this resistance area and rolled over. Now the question is, how closely do we want to tighten the stop? Chris, I'm not certain exactly why your background color is different. What I have up here is just a standard setup for that you see in the room. I'll tell you those all in 1 second. I'll dig up those indicators for you in 1 second. One thing we have to do though before we do that is manage our stop here on 6A. What are we going to do with 6A stop? Get it down into break even? Excuse me. Hold on a second. Yeah, you could. That was a good observation. You could have drawn a retracement line here, and shorted it when it broke. Yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe it was good we got out at the target on crude oil, because you got a quick pop up here. You would have had to quickly trail your stop right near this line or stop dots here, and it would have pulled back and taken you right very close to where we got out anyway. Getting another bounce on gold here to the long side. Okay, we got 9 ticks in the 6A short, so we're going to go ahead and pop this down. A couple ticks. Got a free trade on the table now. While we're watching that, let's go ahead and get the. Let me get the list of indicators up here, Chris, so we can answer your background question. This is the template setup that we use in the room that you see every day in the live trading room. Let me just read off the list of indicators real quick here. I've got look at gold bounce. Came right back to this support area and then bounced. So I've got the swing high low, I've got the trailing stops, I've got breakout trend, trailing stops guidance set to 12. The background is called stealth transition. Stealth transition. Then I also have a 14 stop guidance. So that's what these are down here. 12 guidance and 14 guidance. That's what's in the room. Stealth trend. Breakout toolbar. Breakout zones. We got the dynamic trends from platinum, and then the Band-Aid. So that's what's up with these charts here. Yeah, okay, Hardy pointing out we've got a pullback here on crude oil. Gold is breaking up. There's the gold move we were waiting for, right there. Stop! Look at that move. Stopped us out, you dirty dog. Look at gold go now. Smack a bony. Oh, look at that breakout. There, look at that. It came down, stopped us out, pulled back the support, and then ran up through our second target. Look at that dirty dog. Right here. Pulled back very nicely and then punched up beyond the target that we were looking for right here. Well, I'll tell you what, if you watch or trade gold, you know this is the way gold is. Gold trades like this. GC, that contract, just like that. Yeah, Hardy, I'll tell you what, you've got, no, 6A's moving over here. Derek, 6A's moving, yeah. It came down, it was down here at this 090, 090 kind of shelfie. See it moving now? Kind of came down and wicked down into this area right here and bouncing a little bit. Got a tight stop, 2 ticks below our entry. So if it bounces a little bit higher, it's going to take us out of that trade. Yeah, crude had a quick retracement. Now, you had a lot of resistance in crude right in here. So we're not surprised that it pulled back and did a probe into this area. It just did it. I mean, it was very quick. See, this resistance area has now become support. And you have this nice retracement in here, right here. And it bounced right off of it. So that was actually a very good re-entry. You could put a tight stop here just under 58, like 57. Very low risk, good trade. You'd be up, I don't know, a couple of 3, 4 ticks. You tighten your stop up on that. See that? Gold whipping around. Tell you what, we're coming up on 6 o'clock here. We're going to need to wrap it up tonight. I need to scoot. Anything else we want to cover? Do you have the room tomorrow? Same time, same bat channel. Let's take a peek what the news looks like tomorrow. Thanks for coming, Derek, Hardy, Doug, everybody.